yeah. Live at noon, Monday to Thursday. We're there on 91.9 and 91.5. Join the talk, we keep it live. Yeah. On target's here. Socio topics, breaking news, different voices, different views.
Program on target, and today is our first day after the Carnival session in Grenada, and we on Real FM 91.9, 91.5. We on We Noise FM 94.9 in New York, and you have the privilege, the power, and you have the opportunity to share our program, subscribe to our program. It's a very important thing to subscribe to our program. The technology takes us at another level, and we have to fight up to rise with it. I know a number of people still use the radio and maybe not able to maneuver with your phone. Ask your children to subscribe to the Real FM 91.9. You by now you know that there are those who want to silence Real FM, and one of the ways you could continue to give support to us is to subscribe to our program. This morning, coming from the whole carnival activity, we believe a lot of people have a lot on their mind. A lot of issues going in the world. While we were whining in Grenada and fooling up cocoa pod with oil oil, that doesn't mean that issues in the world is not going on. They did not find a peaceful settlement. Donald Trump did not find a peaceful settlement between Russia and Ukraine. The issue in the Gaza and the Palestine is still going on. Venezuela maybe still have interest in making war with Guyana. And I have not heard our sister Pamela recently with Venezuela. I hope they cool down and able to work together. And there are some individuals who was very negative against CARICOM. And I do hope CARICOM leaders recognize, even if CARICOM is not as strong as we want it to be, you don't mash up group. You try to work and see how you could strengthen group. And you have the power to call. The number to call is 442-0175. You could call and make your contribution on issues trending in Grenada. Well, Carnival have been trending for a couple of days. I guess by now it's set to die out. I generally don't take much part in who win and who lose, because that is a very subjective thing. I always encourage people to enjoy yourself. And if people enjoy themselves by watching you enjoy yourself, then that is good. So the season is over. We could always do some post-mortem. Some people were complaining that how a lot of people left their clothes home. I don't worry much about that too. Some people like to leave their clothes home. Yes, caller, welcome.
I'm the voice of one crying out in the wilderness, Senior. How are you doing?
Good man. And it's good to hear individual cry out.
Yes, Senior. Senior, first of all, I need to take the opportunity to say thanks to the people of Bylands, by extension, Consignment, Colombia, Bamboo, and the people of the Sand. We, yesterday afternoon, we have the opportunity to take a walk on the ground with our political leader, Honorable Emden Pierre, included Florina Waljon, among other NMP supporters that see fit to cover the whole of Ireland. And I'm very happy and thankful to the people that really invite us in your house to listen to the issues. I must say that we were really welcome and I feel like Alan Schwarzenegger, we will be back. But after that massive groundwork yesterday, I do believe that our political leader has proved herself to be a woman of class. And while walking the grounds of violence, she was highly respected by a very wide cross-section of the people in that area. And I say to our political leader, you take a bow. So Wednesday afternoon at 6 o'clock, there will be a meeting at the Sun, at the Dead Sun. And we had extended an invitation to a lot of people to be there to listen to the issues as it relates to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Matinic. And while I am on that note, Senior, I'm very much concerned of the present situation of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Matinic as it relates to leadership. I can feel, I can smell, I can taste that there is a dark cloud hanging over Grenada. I believe that there is a lot of things that is taking place that we as Grenadians who are citizens do not know. And I believe the reason why we do not know it is because we have a Prime Minister that said that information is on a need to know. But it's very, very troubling what we are seeing, what we are facing, and I think that we need answers. And we are not getting answers. As it relates to the United States of America, decide to take action as it relates to the visa. And up to this present time, we did not heard a press conference called by the Prime Minister and his cabinet. Yes, they sent out a release, and the release that is sent out is just what you call an insult to the Grenadian population. And apart from St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Dominica, I believe that Grenada had been targeted very heavy by the United States of America, and that is a matter for concern. Why we targeted so hard? I need to ask myself the question, do Mr. Donald Trump know something that we Grenadians don't know? Is Mr. Donald Trump know something that where our Prime Minister is putting his foot and we don't know? Is Donald Trump know the secret of Deacon Mitchell that we don't know? Senior, there is more question and answer. I rest my case, sir.
Yeah, pretty interesting. Maybe I start with the last first. I don't think we don't know you. I think we're hiding our head in the sand. We're hiding our heads in the sand. And we're pretending we don't know. Grenada has had the first experiment with a coup d'etat and revolution in the region. Grenada is the first country in the Caribbean that executed a minister while in government. Grenada is the first country in the region that executed the Prime Minister and a number of members of the cabinet in the country. Grenada is a very lucky country. People who participated in the execution and sentenced to death was freed, and now they start to call the shot in government. Grenada is a country where the Minister of Finance, I have already declared that the Minister of Foreign Affairs is a mama pool and is practically an embarrassment to foreign affairs in the region. But they were beating the chest when word came, community came, community. I forget this revolutionary language. Came from the United States that one of the options the United States have is visa restrictions. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Yes,
how are you doing, Mr. Pierre?
Welcome.
It's always nice to hear you.
Yes, thank you.
But it seems like some of us have that system in us. You know that system they call the avoidance of reality syndrome? Systemic avoidance of reality syndrome. The reality is America and Donald Trump will keep on doing what they want to do. Whether who was in government, it doesn't matter. As you see what is going on right now in Texas, they're trying to redraw the states, the state lines in terms of voting. And you see what is going on in California for the people that follow the news. In terms of relation to Grenada, the kind of a steps Grenada made for the last 3 years is astronomical in terms of vision of the Prime Minister. For the health plan, in terms of the deal they made with Polaris to get that hospital going. So Grenadians can study, we can have a good health system, make the tourism industry be thriving. We've seen what the government done in terms of culture. The put into fore of the culture, right? The creative arts. People like even you, with the podcast and the different people in Grenada, where they get help to do the podcast.
No, Color, be careful.
I say people like you.
You gotta be careful. Wait. You gotta be careful when you say people like you.
I am being careful. I think people like, okay, people who don't like you then.
But what help people like me get from government? This government is
what I'm saying.
You see, when you're speaking,
right?
I don't know where you're coming from. When you're speaking, you have to be careful,
right, so,
because otherwise, caller, don't afraid the truth. When you're speaking, you have to be careful. Otherwise, you misleading people outside there. This government is going after people to close them down.
Well, again, is that factual what you're saying?
You want me to give you some instance? Caller, you want me to give you some instance?
The gentleman spoke a while ago and you let him speak.
The gentleman never come and refer to me. Otherwise, you're misleading the public. Go ahead.
Right. The fact is Grenada is in a better place. The people's eyes are open up. It's not like in the past where people don't understand terminologies. The fact is this government saw it fit to make sure that they have courses and little courses people can do. They have program in place to educate the people as to how government works, the terminologies and so on. So people have more knowledge in terms of how governments are run and how things are operated. Now, Deacon Mitchell, our Prime Minister, he made friendly arrangements with the folks from Africa, one of the richest men in Africa. He pledged and supported a lot of things in Grenada. And these things are factual. So you will have to understand, right, that we as Grenadians should be praising the government for doing for all these things, for having a vision. A young man who's never even been in politics. And he just came and he became president simply because we did not have a futuristic plan from the former government. They never put things in place in terms of guiding the youths, and now you have a whole lot of people talking a whole heap of different things. And these things are factual, what I'm saying. Let's think about it and let's be honest. Now you have a lot of young people representing the other side. Which if you are in politics and you're being a leader of a country for years and you have vision, wouldn't you empower the younger ones so they could have leadership quality instead of fighting up not with them after you're out of power? So what it tells you about a party like that have no vision. They won't even thinking about getting into power and having power. So it's very clear that this government, with the young people in power, they will never be perfect. And they're learning and they're doing things as they go ahead. But if you have to rate them in the last 3 years in terms of what they do, you have to give them a high.
Caller, you want to tell me who is the young people that the present government have within the folds? Caller?
Say that again. Ask the question again.
You want to tell me who is the young people that the NDC government have within the folds now?
Again, Mr. Pierre. Mr. Pierre, it was stated by a former leader that there's a whole heap of young people there and
a little question
not good enough. So by you asking me that, aren't you afraid with all the insinuendos and all the statements that have been made in the past?
All right, thank you, caller.
I'm challenging you.
Okay, thank you. You see, that is one of the challenges we have. You make a lot of statements there, and the statements you make are not correct, and you can't defend them. Ask you a simple question. Who are the young people NDC have within their folds now? If you ask me that, any time in the history of NNP, I could name 5. The present leader of the opposition, no, came in as a youth. The parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Northwest, the parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Northeast was a little girl in convent school coming as a teacher. We had this young guy from St. David's, I think he was a preacher. We had a number of individuals who was in the Senate that was very young. So the NDC, not in a position to talk about young people. When you campaign with NNP, the NDC can't even talk about women, about providing an opportunity for women. 2 political parties in the history of Grenada could speak in glowing terms about women in politics. That is Govt and Eric Machugay and NNP under Kit Mitchell. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Mr. Pierre.
You agree with the last statement I make? You agree with the last statement I make about women in politics?
Not living in Grenada. Mr. Pierre, I want to need that man not living in Grenada. Mr. Pierre, under the Trump administration, the Imani program, all the scholarships, the youth bees, all training for to teach people how to maintain their business, how to go on business courses, all that kind of thing. Human development, you still saying there was never a succession plan? I just wonder why these guys did not get them misleading.
But let me tell you,
just come on the station and come and just lying for the nation just like that. These guys, they must stop it. All this amount of programs, there are people who are bank managers, who are principal in school, who is qualified teachers today, all because of the Imani. This next chance, the second chance they get under the Imani program, you still have the audacity to come talk that nonsense. Caller, we listening to you. And it's a dying shame to hear you talking this nonsense. You want to promote Deacon, but don't come and lie for the nation, so. It's sickening, and people getting fed up, and you know.
Well, caller, you should not get fed up. And this is I always blame NNP for that. NNP members have to learn to defend NNP. When the NDC make this outrageous statement, you have to immediately take them on with facts and ask questions. And generally they run. This Prime Minister, 45 years old, he's young in politics. He's not a young person. Keith Mitchell started politics at 26, I believe. He ran for election and get one among the last. What was George Olmsted?
That was in 70.
Eric Gary started at 27, and Eric Gary said he wanted a woman to marry. Because he believed then if I'm going to politics, I'd be a married man. And they get the best girl in St. David's wife. One of them kind daughter, Cynthia Gary. Maurice Bishop, coming so young, he died at 35. 39? Bishop died at 39. After he do all kind of good thing and bad thing. Miss Maple Ned and Nadia Benjamin was married. Young people make all their children. They didn't reach 30 yet by 30 something by the time they go in politics. Dolan, Winston White. When we speak, we must speak. Winston White was the youngest minister, and it's the first time they have Minister of Youth and Sport in Grenada. So when you're talking about young people in Grenada, it's either you're walking on your head. When Eric Gary come in politics, he was 27 years old. And Kit Mitchell. And almost all these leaders was already agitating and involved in groups and organizations. It's only this group of pirates we have.
But Mr. Pierre, I get involved in group is because of Dr. Mitchell and them. They had a big GRF. This company was going around
Yeah.
involving people in groups to get people out of poverty and having development and sending us on leadership courses and all this kind of thing. You have the audacity and the temerity and the nerves to come on the radio station and talk about there was never a succession plan under the former administration.
And they just run a big word about succession. Yes, caller, thank you.
No, he needs to get his thing straight.
Well, he wouldn't get it straight. We have to straighten him.
So therefore we have to straighten with facts. But then sometimes when you're giving them facts over and over, when the teacher teaching you, and the teacher teaching you the same thing over and over again. Some people could learn it once, and some people you have to tell them 1,000 times. Tell them 1,000 times. Yes, caller, welcome.
Afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, welcome.
Afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yeah.
I would like KJ to say one thing this government implements for young people in Grenada, Carriacou, and people need. I would like him to tell us what has it done for the youth of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martin. KJ needs to stop.
But you don't need to stop. We need to take him on.
Stop and get the facts
You stop.
right. He needs to get his facts
But
straight.
perhaps he could call back and tell us one thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a record.
What NNP
And not half a thing or a quarter thing, One thing.
Tell us what them did.
Yes, something that is outstanding and
Yes, what NNP did not do for the youth and JD did it for the youth.
Yeah.
Let he call and say that.
Okay, KJ, call back and tell us one thing. And tell us one thing that could stand up.
What this government do, what NNP did not do for the youth.
Yes, so KJ, will give KJ a chance to call back. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, call back. Welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, caller.
And how are you today?
Great, man. Good. After Carnival, I'm good.
Mr. Pierre, after Carnival, did you play jab?
No, I didn't play job. Never did in my life.
Okay, just teasing you.
Yeah.
Mr. Pierre, I want you to observe the modus operandi of $1,600. $1,600 is trying best to derail your program. $1,600 is calling your program and just want to talk. So you will not get through with what you have to say with your program, and other callers wouldn't be able to call. Now, $1,600 would just call and, the government this, and the government did this, and the government did that, and the government is the best, and he's just going down the line about the government. The government didn't do anything for the youths, and the government didn't do this, and the government didn't do that, and everything. That's what $1,600 is doing, to derail your program, Mr. Pierre, so you would not get through your program. You simply ask $1,600 one simple question. Name me one thing that this government is doing for the young people. And $1,600 disappears. Mr. Pierre, you're in charge of your program. Everybody have the right to call and make a contribution and say whatever it is. But $1,600 have a motive to derail your program. She would call and want to just speak. Your hour run off. You don't say what you have to say, and no other person get the chance to call. Mr. P, I've said it before, and I'm telling you again, you're in charge of a program. Take control of your program. He can expect to want to come and talk about, the government this and the government do that, and this is the best government, and they did this, and the government before didn't do anything. And you ask him one question. One simple question you ask him. Look at the government before didn't do anything. Let's take, for example, the Imani program, Mr. P. The Imani program produced police officers. The Imani program produced teachers. The Imani program produced bankers. Mr. P, and I could attest to that. I, I was supervisor to an Imani worker. I was supervisor to Animal Walker. And Mr. Pierre, I am proud of that worker today. And I was speaking about warning. I am proud of that worker today. This worker is working in a bank now. Mr. Pierre, I supervise an Imani worker that is now a soldier in the UK Army. And you telling me that this government, the previous government did nothing for young people? Mr. Pierre, when I go through the country, I mean, especially in Georgia, and I see Imani workers and I see where they are placed now, where they're working now, I feel so proud. I'm so happy. Those that I mentored, Mr. Pierre. And $1,600 is coming and said the previous government did nothing for young people.
All right, Colonel. Thank you.
What happened to this man? Mr. Pierre, do not allow him to come and derail your program.
Okay, Colonel. Thank you.
That it is motor operator. You need to...
You see, we have to be a people very tolerant. I always stick on that because this present government is going to make us hate one another and kill one another. So that is why it's so important to be tolerant to one another and respect one another's views, even if we don't agree with it. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
A lot of aspersions have been cast, unfortunately. And make it very clear. I did not run away. You asked me a question and I did answer you. I did say, didn't the former Prime Minister made statements stating that so-called certain young people and they're young and they cannot make it in terms of government. And again, context. A lot of people, a lot of us, and I want you to make it clear. You put on the phone, I did not put it on. And that is a fact. Right? And the next thing is, people tend to hear, but they don't listen. When I made this statement, I was referring to leadership in terms of putting younger people in leadership position.
Caller.
And then I segue out and I give examples in terms of what the government doing now. So we have to be careful in terms of the context what people speaking, what we say, how they say, and when they say it. We have to be very, very careful.
All right, thank you, caller. Caller, what you do is not correct. You making statement, and if I refer to you to check yourself, you don't answer. You continue to make those statements. You're supposed to meet me in the rum shop. I try to be as tolerant as possible. You making statement, you know the statement you make is wrong. But if I call you, because all of us could make wrong statement, so to correct you at the same time, and I did not cut you off. I did not cut you off. You're a very rare cut off people, you know. And you did not answer my question. And you like to talk about context and all kinds of things, you know. Big phrases and what? Nobody understand that in a serious discussion. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Pierre, I want KJ to know that he is not on weekend.
But you see, sister, just a while. Hold on a while. That's what happened. The gentleman called, he make a comment, and everybody come back on that subject matter.
What? Mr. Pierre, KJ is a man what like to argue a lot.
But what we doing now?
And what he arguing about?
Caller,
he don't make no sense.
When 4 or 5 callers call back on that same issue, they're the ones that occupying the time. Not I don't know if you know.
I don't know if KJ don't take a tablet this morning.
No, that is not correct. Caller. Don't do that to me.
It's time for you to stop that.
Thank you, caller. We can't do that, you know. This is, I have objected to Dick Mitchell and the policy because I believe that the policy is fractured in the country. I believe the policy is divisive. I have called radio program promoting the NDC and they cut me off. I've heard programs on radio where they're laughing at how people speak, the grammar, and I call and object to them. And this program is about people expressing their views and opinion. And if you disagree with what somebody say, deal with the issue rather than going after the person. That is what derailing the program, not KJ. KJ call him, make his statement, and I react to him, and 4 or 5 other person going after him. And they have a lot of important issues to deal with, you know. You just have an issue where the United States of America decide to cut out the visa of government officers. People have to understand what you mean by government officers. What's about the doctor that working with government that going on a course? What's about the agriculture officer that working with government that going on a course? What's about the health inspector that working with government that going on a course? Would they be affected by that policy? Yes, caller, welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
A long time you hear my voice.
Yes.
Just listening straight. You're right. People have to forget about KJ because KJ is a distraction of the program. You have to let the boy talk what he can do answer him. KJ is a beggar. And the next thing, Mr. Pierre, I was shocked. I going on Bolio the last time and I see George Brizan photo and the Nutmeg building in Bolio. I say, hey, the Nutmeg Association wicked there. For a man who lent 21 million to Colum Albertville and Nutmeg, you put up a picture and the Nutmeg pole in Bolio. And next thing, we have the senator getting like Skibby Dooby in the Senate. The man getting like Skibby Dooby in the Senate. And we have people who want to listen to this man. But Mr. Pierre, and next thing you know, what I like it? What I like? When you're calling out Cornwall. What? That is that vital. Very vital. I wonder if you can understand that. You love boys. More to love you. More to miss you. And you're siding with the man that killed Morris. Hey. Grenadian, we have to watch it enough because watch you. Let me tell you, Orel don't give it up. You hear the chest now, I'm thinking bright again. And one time when he was in the and you guys said it. You had some 10 days go to work and grind time. And he come on the end cost you, they make cutting all the fun. All the fun is probably grind time. But look what the men do grind time. And Chester ain't saying nothing. Watch, I can remember one. I remember one that that man that is on the port, Philip guy. Why Philip again? He's in charge of the port.
Ambrose?
He called Chester. I am.
Who Ambrose Philip?
Ambrose Philip. Ambrose Philip, nationalist, Salaman, industrial, Paris. So they were seeing that coming power. As he reached, he got more than poor people. Poor people terrorists. And now you're getting them. So Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller.
Anyway, I love listening to you. I did not call something. But
yes.
I think I'll give up on Saturday from the most you're calling it and then have
Studio Galaxy. Yeah. Yeah, yes, caller. Thank you.
Galaxy. I know about it.
Yes, thank you.
We're listening.
Yeah, I've always accused the Nutmeg Association as an agent of NDC. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon. Mr. Pierre, I asked a question, what NDC do for young people of this country?
So you want to answer me?
When?
You want to answer me?
Well, I'm answering you.
Okay, go ahead.
when school open next term, the college of this country, there will be free tuition for them. You know all of them. Free tuition for them. They're not something good. When they had to pay $800, they get it free. They're not nothing good. The pay is a joke. Mr. Pierre, listen to me. The NNP was in power for 10 years.
We asking what NDC do. You mean you going back to NNP?
Well, I tell you,
What NDC do for the young people in Grenada?
and I tell you 10 years and 30 seats. And today, we can't get a captain in this country. Today, we can't get a mason in this country. What the hell have been doing for the past 10 years? Nothing. They talk about money.
So where the carpenter, Color? Where the carpenter and mason gone?
Because NNP don't change, they train them. They don't train them, wait them.
Well, after 3 years, Scholar, how much carpenters and mason the NDC train?
They're training them now.
Well, how much they train 3 years a day?
They're training them in college now. New law and places. NNP spent 10 years there. They had 30 seats. And you can't get a carpenter in this country. You can't get a mason in this country. You can't get a plumber in this country. Look at pipe working man.
And you fix it up?
I can't get a plumber.
Better come and fix it for you?
Yes, you do that.
Because we have some dual purpose people here, you know. Based upon the laws of necessity, they fixing anything here.
Mr. Pierre.
I won't charge you much.
We had a Imani program for 10 years and we can't get a carpenter. What the hell going on in this country? What have you been doing with the money? Mr. Pierre, are you bankrupt with the country?
All right, thank you.
Imagine that we had 30 seats in this country.
You got $500 million in the treasury. You didn't have to sell, the government did not sell assets. If you remember, between 2000 up to 2013, 2008, 2013, the NDC sold 13 pieces of property. They sold land that didn't belong to them. Yes, Scholar, welcome.
Afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, Scholar.
Hello.
Yes, Scholar, welcome.
Afternoon, Mr. Pierre. So they don't have no carpenter and mason in Grenada. So who build back better houses?
Well, they can't, I think they will get Trinidad, you know. Well, I know it's not Haitian because they father Haitian.
But so it's apprentice or build them, man.
Well, I don't know.
They don't have no carpenter, no mason, and NNP provide nothing for that. But all these build back better houses. So who build them?
I don't know where they get them people. The NDC line has one horse trotting.
Well, I don't understand
You
this,
must
man.
understand that.
And you building how much houses you build. Big men will build it. So what you're trying to say, NDC just train them to build these houses?
Well, they're blaming NNP for the, they said they didn't have engineers. So that's why closure road public.
But how come he had engineers before? And all of a sudden they don't have engineers?
You see, they're looking for NDC carpenters. Deku said the only reason NNP getting a work is because they don't know who the real NDC is, you know. So they don't want NNP carpenter. They're looking for NDC carpenters.
Okay.
That's the problem in Grenada, you know. They fired 31 workers from Granba. We told them 19 was NDC. They employ back 20.
So that's the problem.
So they're looking for a special group of people. So that's the big challenge they have.
Okay, so but you can't say those things. Because look at they have houses already, past houses, buildings. So who building them?
Well, they say they don't have NDC carpenters. And they have to fight to employ some NNP carpenters.
So all the houses what building is NNP, what building NNP.
They're looking for NDC carpenters.
Because them looking for NDC builders.
Yeah.
And they don't have NDC builders.
Yeah, that's the challenge.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Bye, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, that's the challenge we have in Grenada. But while we have that, another serious issue is the Americans decide to, some Grenadian government officials may lose their visa. And these guys don't bother with America, you know. Most of these guys are hardline communists. They are atheists. And they realize that there is a good chance that they come back in power. Because my brother Ewart Lane seems to have a big power now with this government calling some shots. you have the movement on the road, and you have a lot of the extremists in Grenada and sleeper cells that wake up. So they're on a high. You see they start to beat the chest for the American again. You could take back your visa. You could take back your visa. We don't need it. And you know, so many Grenadians hiding their head in the sand. There is consequences for our action. Yes, caller, welcome.
Okay, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Great, man.
But Mr. Pierre, what I'm trying to say, right? I say I want to go and look for a visa. So like me and you, so like if we don't have visa, so we can go to go and get a visa, like, so what caused that?
Well, a number of factors. One of them is the majority of people in the world want to go to America. Whether they are Chinese, Russian, Ethiopian, Muslim. Muslims don't want to go in Mecca and see Saudi Arabia. You know. They want to go in America. Because America is one of the best countries in the world. Yeah. All our Grenadian communists, they want to go in America. Okay. So the United States have so much illegal immigrants, they decide to tighten up. Okay. But they're accepting people. So if all your documents is right and you're not a government official, they will still accept you.
Okay, right. Well, that's what I really wanted to know.
Yeah,
and then what I tried to say now, the people saying like the government don't do nothing for the youth to see. But I never see like the ex-prime minister like playing jab with two big chain in the neck. So then I want to know now, this prime minister now, after he had two big chain in the neck, so what that two chain signify?
That prime minister is a fake, don't bother with it.
Well, I can't understand.
You see
what I see showing the youth.
You see how he playing jab, you don't whine, you don't dancing, you don't juking, you don't
like, Mr. Like you want to bring back slavery to us?
Yeah, this one is just a fake. That's just for photogenic repurposes.
Well, I find
one picture take out name. He's a fake, don't worry that.
But when they come let me tell like when you ask him, they say like the government doing good for the youth, show the youth good. And when you ask the people that saying, tell you about, I don't know, neighbor few, they can't tell you because that caller say he come to answer the question and then the question is NNP. So that is the question, NNP and NNP. Mr. Pierre, I'm so sorry. You have to pray for them still and you still have to visit people and them good luck. Mr. Pierre, I used to live in the night, set up to listen to certain caller in the night. I used to set up, call him, and we talking. He say he praying, but Mr. Pierre, I used to laugh. Everybody know. If we saw this guy who would have come on the radio with no sense, I would not have never lost my sleep in the night to listen to him. He program in the night. Have a good day, Mr. Pierre.
Yeah, you still have to remember we is one people. Don't matter if see Deacon want to promote classism in the country and calling people commoners and beggy. The NNP and other people must not go down that route. We are all one Grenadians that likely to make mistake. We have to continue to be an inclusive people that forgives. Deacon is a fake and he leading Grenada the wrong direction. The Prime Minister showed down the railing of the Grenada Development Bank and they raid the bank. They behave like thieves. They behave like thieves. You know, you don't break down, you don't see nobody in here, so you go in the people's house and take the thing. That's what they do with the Grenada Development Bank. The legislation is clear that politicians, directors, and people who are politically exposed, so if your brother is a politician, they say you're politically exposed, should not obtain loan from the Grenada Development Bank. These individuals are highly certificated, bright people, they could read and write. They choose a corrupt board, and because they had a corrupt board, they raid the bank. That is wrong. The government, massive corruption in the national lottery. Their own minister, Lacrette, understand Lacrette screaming. When Lacrette see the level of corruption, he go to Deacon. Deacon fire the whistleblower. So it's a very corrupt group that is there. Now they go beating the chest for the Americans. You could take back your visa because it will never. And the American case is that the medical personnel that are performing in Grenada and other Caribbean countries are being used. They are not represented by trade unions. The agreement with Grenada government and those Cuban medical personnel is a government-to-government arrangement. So they must be giving the Cubans portion of the money. You notice I didn't say a stipend. Portion of the money, and the government of Cuba have to get the rest. In some countries, one of the individuals who spoke, he didn't say Grenada. He said Venezuela, Brazil, and other countries, the people passport are kept. In some countries, the family members can leave Cuba to come. The United States is objecting to that. Remember, the United States of America and Cuba technically is at war. They don't find bombs. But the United States have an economic blockade against Cuba. And some countries are circumventing the blockade to provide financial assistance to Cuba. Every US dollar that you enter the Cuban bank with, 30% are seized, are taken away, are charged by the government of Cuba. So that $1 US you go with is immediately 70 cents. This is war. Now you have secondary people involved like us. We get the Cuban medical personnel, but the American is arguing it is almost like slave labor. While we have all the freedom on the radio, somebody like me in Cuba would have been in jail. They're jailing me. Somebody like Andre, well, you don't even hear in that word. What about Andre and Real FM? That day in jail long. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Give me a minute again.
Yes, 1 minute.
Where them born, where them minister and them saying, oh, they could take the vision, they lie. They lie. Why would tell you lie, Mr. Pierre? Because when that thing come out, somebody called Deacon and Deacon have a kind of program going and ask him, well, you bring in Mount Sinai down here, what will happen to the Cuban workers? Remember Deacon say that up there, you have to ask Mount Sinai about that, you know. So you think about they don't want to make a video, they lie. They lie. Okay, you bring in Nigerian come out up there. And when you watch the Nigerian qualification, they kicking out them Cuban. Them want them lie again. Want them lying too much. And next thing now, well, I want to get a little prop up for I'll get a little prop up for the money they say. They have to fix Spring Garden Road. Yeah, but 2 weeks now they work on it now, so
that's good.
I'll give them thumbs up for that.
All right.
But I'm still burning them because they give a kayak man the contract. I'm quitting. I'm Pierre, I'm just something. 99% of people in Spring Garden belong to NDC, you know. Nobody they walking up here kayak. A man up from where you living up there. And it's to you, sir.
Yes. So people must understand. So this issue with Cuba, and remember again, is Kit Mitchell, Dr. Kit Mitchell, Stone, Jonah, the leader of NNP that re-established relationship with Cuba, you know. And Kit was able to demolay without conflicts. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre?
Yes, scholar, welcome.
I have a question. Did anybody ever thought or wondered why Fidel Castro hand over to his brother and did not allow the Cuban people to choose a leader, to elect a leader?
Well, these people doesn't let people elect leader. There's handover. Same thing they wanted to do in Grenada. That is why some believe Kit Mitchell should hand over to Peter. They don't want Peter. They know Peter can win the election. So you see all the revolutionaries in Grenada. They want Kit hand it over. You must get it there.
Yeah, so Kit should have handed over to them.
And Kit say he don't hand it over to nobody.
Yeah, it's Kit they have to deal with.
Right, yeah.
Now they have to face Emmeline. They had
and they don't want a peasant.
Emmeline now.
Because they say Gary was a peasant, Kit was a peasant, Tillman Thomas was a peasant. So they don't want a peasant again.
They don't want a peasant.
You think they're easy?
Well, they have to take peasant until the Lord ready for them.
What they have to do is
and his peasant they go get.
Let the people decide.
Exactly. Let the people decide, and the people will decide.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre.
Yeah, and you was my last caller for the day. And that's why we always say, don't bury your head in the sand. When you hear you have an opportunity to go and vote, one man, one vote. The vagrant have same power as a liar. They go and vote. If you bury your head in the sand, you must stand the consequences. We on the radio trying to absorb some of the shock. We realize Deacon Mitchell is a fake and he is the corrupter in chief. And he greedy. Deacon is no socialist. That is why we ask the question, who sent Deacon? Who is the third party that dictating our foreign affairs? Deacon is only in this thing for the money. Some other people interests are being solved. We see the upsurge or the rise in the extremists in our country. They're getting bolder and they're getting louder. We have asked many questions to Peter David. And you're going to hear more and more. I'm zeroing in on Peter David. Because it appears that they select Peter David to lead. They select him to lead. They always want a front. They cannot win election. No communist in any part of the Caribbean cannot win the election if they speak the truth. Because if they speak the truth, they're going to tell people they have to close down radio stations. They have to jail people who go against them. They believe in central planning. They don't believe in Christianity. They say religion is the opium of the people. And Grenadians wouldn't vote for that. That is why they have to ride on a cars. They always have to ride on a cars. That is why they don't answer in question. For a man who decides he's going to form his own political party, he have to have a cause. He in politics long enough to get up, pick up the telephone, go on the radio and say, what is the philosophy? What is the fundamental difference he have with the political movement? What is his agenda and his program? No! You have to get a cause. Because the communists, the Marxists, Leninists, and the atheists, they cannot sell their program in the country. No radio personality wants somebody to put them in jail. Jenny Simon, no. The pick of the crop in Grenada. You think Jenny Simon want to go in jail? You think Francis Pierre want anybody to shut him up? No. Even if the union remove Francis Pierre from the medical health plan, he don't want to go in jail. So he would not support the political parties that he knows have to shut down radio station and go against Christianity to survive. So we cannot bury our head in the sand. Deacon came into office and the first thing he said, his information is based upon need to know. He do not want to share information with the public. Look at how he flip-flopping on a simple thing like jab. No justification and no reason to flip-flop. Look at the level of lies, the quantity of lies, the quality of lies that Deacon telling. When you hold him, he's still lying again. Look at his attitude towards Haiti. He liked Africa so much. What's about Haiti? What's about Haiti? Mia Mockley in Barbados wanted nurses. Why should I take Haitian and train them as nurse? You practically certain they're going to remain in Barbados, perhaps till they're dead. So they speak with forked tongues. We must ask them questions on the issue of the Cuban medical personnel. I see my brother Comrade Chester Humphrey. 3 communists here in Grenada. Chester Humphrey, John Galt, and me. All them other communists in America. Now I see you trying to answer. Why we can't get a Cuban doctor to answer that? Have you ever asked yourself, why is it we cannot get a Cuban doctor to come publicly and answer questions in front of journalists? United States of America is accusing them of practically slave labor. United States, you using these medical personnel, some of them against their will, to circumvent the American embargo on you. So in some places, they have to keep the passport. One Cuban in Grenada once went to P.T. Macnic, take a boat, go in Barbados, and the next time they hear about him, he was asking for political asylum. And he was a Cuban doctor in Grenada. I had the opportunity to speak to his ex-doctor partner. He said it's a hard decision because he leaves his wife and children in Cuba. Now, all these journalists we have in Grenada, the cyclists, the doctor of journalism, the photogenic one, those who are favored by Deacon. Why don't you ask the Cuban doctors what this program is all about? Are you being paid your full money? Do they keep your passport? Could your wife and children come freely with you? When you're in Grenada, could you go on holiday in St. Vincent? These are questions that could be asked, particularly in light of the arguments advanced by the United States of America. I heard Chester say, he helped them to able to open an account in bank. So there is a joke. Who you telling that? Big doctor coming Grenada, Chester, you have to help them to make them know how to open an account in bank? Particularly in light of the fact that is a government-to-government arrangement. They should line Grenada with the necessary information to work in the bank and open an account. So you think it's some little road workers? Chester, what are you talking to? You think it's some little road workers? Big medical doctor, medical personnel, they come and beg you and you have to make, well, I won't say false papers, because I will do that too. If somebody come and want telephone bill, electricity bill, job letter, I'm making it give them. Where they work with me, they don't work with me, I like them, I'm making a bill give them. For them to get a job letter, and these things happen fast when we come to the end of the program, but we're not running away from these subject matters. So you could come back and join us again, and we thank all those who contribute. All those who contribute you are welcome to the program on target. Thank you very much.
We're there on 91.9 and 91.